Hello, my name is Larry Jenks, and I'd like to welcome you to this video demonstration on using eQuery code review software to help you with your review of Chapter 10 of the International Building Code, Means of Egress. Chapter 10 of the IBC is quite an intensive chapter when you think about all of the calculations it requires. It covers such major issues as occupant load, number of exits required, the exit width required, and the exit separation distance. We'll also determine the maximum exit travel distance, fire door rating requirements, and the plumbing fixture requirements as well based on our occupancy group and the occupant load. This chapter also covers exit corridor width, exit stair width, and the maximum dead-end corridor dimension. We also need to determine the fire-resistive requirements for major building elements, such as the structural frame or exterior bearing walls. And we determine the fire-resistive requirements for fire doors as well. eQuery helps you calculate all of these requirements, but for this demo, I'd like to touch on just a couple of the highlights of how eQuery can help you with some of the major calculations required by the code. Let's start by calculating the occupant load for a sample project, a school building. To do this, we need to calculate the occupant load for each room of the building, for each floor, and then tabulate the totals for the entire building. Button number 2 opens a dialog box where we can tell eQuery the floor area of our room, the occupancy, and the room function is defined by the IBC. And then eQuery calculates the occupant load and the number of exits required for the room. Although it can be somewhat time-consuming, the code requires that we calculate this information for each room on this floor, and then repeat the process for each floor in the building. eQuery helps you each step of the way. When you have completed this work, eQuery summarizes the data and computes the occupant load for the entire building, the exit width required at the discharge level, and the maximum exit separation distance. Once eQuery knows the most restrictive occupancy group and it has calculated the total occupant load for the building, it can then calculate the plumbing fixture requirements. Later in Chapter 11 on accessibility requirements, eQuery will calculate the number of accessible fixtures you'll need. For now, click on OK, and eQuery transfers the calculations to the spreadsheet for your record. Click on button 6 to calculate the maximum exit travel distance and the minimum corridor width. eQuery gathers the information you provided previously and automatically enters it into the gray boxes on page 2 of the dialog box. It then calculates the required corridor width for you. The code requires you to determine the fire rating requirements for major building elements and for fire doors as well. We'll show you how eQuery helps you with those determinations in another video demonstration. Well, that concludes the demo of Chapter 10, Means of Egress. I hope you found this information to be informative. Please check the website for additional eQuery demos. Thank you very much for watching.